Attention.
Or peace, we're trying to sell peace like a product, and sell it like people sell soap or soft drinks. And the only way to get people aware that peace is possible, and it isn't just inevitable to have violence, not just war, all forms of violence. People just accept it and think, oh, they did it, or Harold Wilson did it, or Nixon did it, and they're always scapegoating people. And it isn't Nixon's fault. We're all responsible for everything that goes on. And we're all responsible for Biafra and Hitler and everything. And the militant types always said, oh, we must give the people the power so they can stop all this. But the people have the power. What we want to tell them is you have the power.
They say we die twice. First, when our heart and brain activity cease to continue. And second, after the last time our name has been spoken. I do not feel liable in keeping someone alive I wish never existed. No matter how relevant that name is to my work, I believe I have that right. I do not feel obligated in indulging the infamous and grotesque in their desire for a longer life, if even only in memory, because that is a luxury that wasn't given to their victims, and I will not give it to them now. But of course, I am obligated in capitalizing off of recent events, searches, and trends. And even though there is going to be an army of videos and articles on this subject, in a mad dash for views and subscribers and likes, I believe if I was to do anything with the trend, it would have to be shining a light in all that darkness, on the better parts of humanity. That is what I choose to do. So when I refer to him, I will refer to him as No Name, because that was literally his first name for the first few weeks after his birth. Quite fitting in a way. So please, enjoy this story about the Beatles. And please, take the things you learn here today to separate this fantastic song from the delusions of the cruel and unloving. Okay, so let's bang it out right now so there's no more confusion. No Name somehow got it into his head that the term Helter Skelter, which he did get from the Beatles song, was defined as the impending apocalyptic race war. But of course, that couldn't be further from why Paul McCartney wrote the song. And when you find out how innocent the origin is, it makes No Name's interpretation seem so preposterous. Paul McCartney based the song and the name Helter Skelter off an amusement park ride, which was a tower with a spiral slide around it that you could slide down. Here's what Paul had to say about the controversy, and I personally find it hilarious how dismissive he is about the whole thing. I was using a symbol of a helter skelter as a ride from the top to the bottom. The rise and fall of the Roman Empire. This was the fall, the demise, the going down. You could have thought of it as a cute title, but it's since taken on all these ominous overtones. No Name interpreted that Helter Skelter had something to do with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I still don't know what all that stuff is. It's in the Bible, Revelations. I haven't read it, so I wouldn't know. But he interpreted that we were the 4 horsemen, Helter Skelter was the song, and arrived at having to go out and kill everybody. Oh man, Paul. Imagine writing such a great song and having some idiot add all that bullshit to it. But even John Lennon had a go at the controversy, not without insulting Paul's song as well. We also took it seriously, that role. But I don't know what Helter Skelter has to do with knifing someone. I never listened to it seriously. It's just a noise. People have been using art to justify all sorts of violence, or even blaming the art for inciting it. Apparently film and music and video games, all of these things can cause hideous acts of violence. You write a song about a slide, and all of a sudden you got somebody coming up to you saying, thanks for illuminating me on the impending apocalyptic race war. And you're like, what? It's just a song. But enough of that garbage. It honestly has nothing to do with the song. Paul wanted to write a song in response to an interview he read in Melody Maker where Pete Townsend of The Who spoke about their single, I Can See for Miles.
I read in a music paper that The Who were putting out a new record.
Right.
And Pete Townsend, I think, was quoted, and he said, "It's the dirtiest, grittiest, filthiest piece of music." I went, "Oh, we've got to get there before they do," or something, you know. So I went to the guys and said, "We've got to make the dirtiest, filthiest, grittiest." So, you know, that's what we made.
I definitely think they accomplished that, seeing how different it was from the rest of the Beatles catalog. They wanted to get the drums as loud and as dirty as possible, which undoubtedly led to one of the most famous quotes from the Beatles ever. "I've got blisters on me fingers." Helter Skelter is a track we did in complete madness and hysteria in the studio. Sometimes you gotta shake out the jams. And with that song, Paul's bass line and my drums, he started screaming and shouting and made it up on the spot. We tried everything we could to dirty it up. And in the end, you can hear Ringo say, "I've got blisters on my fingers." That wasn't a joke he put on. He was actually bleeding by the end of the take. He'd been drumming so ferociously. In the end, they literally bled to produce that song. And it's in my humble opinion that that should have been the only blood spilled in its name.
When I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide, and I stop and I turn and I go for a ride. When I get to the bottom, I will see you again. Yeah, yeah. Do you, don't you want me to love you? I'm coming down fast, but I'm miles above you. Tell me, tell me, tell me, come on, tell me the answer. Well, maybe you love her, but you ain't no dancer. Helter Skelter, Helter Skelter, Helter Skelter, yeah. Oh, will you, won't you, want me to make you? I'm coming down fast, but don't let me break you. Tell me, tell me, tell me the answers. You may be a lover, but you ain't no dancer. Look out, Helter Skelter, Helter Skelter, Helter Skelter. Look out! 'Cause there she comes. When I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide, and I stop and I turn and I go for a ride. And I get to the bottom and I see you again. Yeah, yeah. Well, do you, don't you want me to make you? I'm coming down fast, but don't let me break you. Tell me, tell me, tell me your best, 'cause you may be a lover, but you ain't no dancer. Look out, Helter Skelter, Helter Skelter, Helter Skelter. Well, look out! She coming down fast, yeah, she is.